What's going on, y'all? This is gonna be a quick video on the attachments and loadouts I'm using for the new season. You guys kept asking me in the comments, so here it is. And before the video starts, the season just came out. Give me some slack. I think I only have 40 games played. You know what I mean? We'll get champ in like a week or two before someone in the comments like, oh, I thought you said you're top champ every video. Shut up. Season just came out. Shut up. All right. Shut up. Alright, with that said, let's go through it. A lot of operators lost nades, lost to 1.5s, ACOS, etc. So let's just go through it. Sledge, we're going to be using the L8, 1.5, flash hider vertical, pistol, and nades. Nothing really crazy. He does have EMPs, but I mean, he's one of the only 4 attackers with nades now, so definitely want to use that to go nade below, get shit off wall, get kills, all that good stuff. Thatcher is not going to be getting banned as much now. Maybe in like lower ranks or just ranked in general, people are going to keep banning Thatcher. But there's really no point of a Thatcher ban now, just because, there's Dokkaebi, there's Lion, there's Osa. There's attackers with EMPs now, so that completely gets rid of the point of a Thatcher ban. So Thatcher's going to start getting played a lot more, when people actually get used to not banning him. Like I said, in lower ranks, he might still get banned because just people don't know what the fuck they're doing now. But anyways, we're going to be using the L8 with him 2 times. He does have a 1.5 now, so you could flip either between one of these two. I like the 2.5 better, to be honest with you. Flash hider vertical, pistol, and then a claymore for him. You could switch the recharges to play vertical, but I mean, who's really playing vertical on Thatcher? But that is a possibility. Ash, we are going to be using the G3 with the 1.5 flash and angle. The R4C did get buffed this season. It has a lot less recoil and it has angle grip now. So it's really just personal preference here. But if I was going to use R4C, I would use hollow A, flash, and angle grip. But I still like the G3. It just has a 1.5. I have way more hours using it. I just like the gun better. For the pistol, the 5.7, I've never liked the MP or the M45. And then claymores, you can use suppressors on pistols now if you want. It really doesn't make that much of a difference, to be honest with you, but they don't really take off damage now, so it is a possibility. Thermite, I'm using the 2 times flash and angle grip with the 5.7 muzzle brake laser and flashes. Going on to Twitch over here. F2, we're using 1.5 flash and vertical. The P9, I think the revolver just has way too much kick and you only have 6 bullets compared to 16. Muzzle brake laser and smokes. I'm using smokes for her just because you can smoke off the cross, smoke running the sight, all that good stuff. Claymores, I mean, you very rarely ever get a kill with a claymore. People have common game sense, but you could flip in between the two, I guess. Also for the F2, a lot of people either use the flash hider or the muzzle. You could try out both and see which one you like better. I just like flash hider more. Montang, gonna be using the revolver. I know what I just said about the P9, but the one time you actually do ADS, I like to have the just a more kick for a gun. Just does way more damage. You're not really gonna be ADSing that much of Montang anyways. He's more just walking his side, give info. He does have EMPs now too, so he can get played a lot more now. I did see Pro League. He did get picked up a few times just because Montang's always been a good info op, but he's just weak. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a waste of a pick, but he can get walls open now with the EMPs, so not necessarily a bad choice. Glaz is one of the only attackers with a nade now, and he does have a Ghani and a bearing 9. So for his sniper, oh, he has a grip now too. I didn't even know that. All right, well, I'm using the vertical on him just to have less kick. Really no point of having an angle grip on a sniper rifle like Glaz. Red dot C and muzzle brake. And then you can flip in between the bearing 9 and the Ghani, depends how you like to play him. I would just have the Ghani just because this is kind of just like a long range. You're not really swinging people with this. We're going to be swinging people with the bearing 9. You do have nades, so it's not like you can't open up castles or get everything open. But you can go nading below with him compared to the other 2 gadgets. Obviously, frag nades would be the better choice. Fuse, AK-12, 1.5 flash angle grip, PMM, double M. I don't know why I can't say that. Muzzle brake laser, and then we'll be using hard breach gadget on him. Or you could use smokes. You can really flip in between any of these. It just depends what you're doing that round, what map it is, what your team lineup is. Blitz sucks. Muzzle brake laser, smokes. Not really much to be said here. IQ, I do like the AUG, boys. I cannot lie. With the suppressor change doing no damage and her AUG getting it 2 times, I have to admit, boys, I like the AUG with a suppressor out of any of the other 3 weapons. It's just try it out. You know what I mean? But Flash hider 1.5 vertical, red dot C, flash hider vertical, and then 2 times suppressor, muzzle brake laser, and we're using claymores on her. Or you could switch between breach charges and play vertical, either one. But try it out, man. I do like the AUG with the 2 times the suppressor. But like I said, personal preference, you really cannot go wrong with either 3 of these weapons. Buck did get a Ghani this season. You can use it if you want. I mean, yeah, it's better than the handgun. But now you can you get castles open, get rid of the barbed wire, all that stuff. It's kind of nice they gave it to him because he did lose his nades. But 1.5 flash, and then Ghani. Obviously, you can't run anything on the Ghani, and then either stuns or hard breach. You for mastery, you have to get the hatch. And there's really no wall you have to get open. So for example, like I can't think one off the top of my head, but any map or any site where like you just need to get hatches open, it's less of getting a breach open. So for example, like clubhouse, when you're attacking basement, arsenal, church, right? If you really wanted to, you could play Buck and then use the hard breaches instead of Hibana, just to get like a Montang or something. Just another app like that would be an example. I bet if you guys are running a hard breach already, use stuns on them, so you could just burn ADSs, all that good stuff. Blackbeard sucks. Not much to really be said here. Not really be playing Blackbeard, but muzzle brake, vertical 1.5, deagle, muzzle. He also does have EMPs now. I won't be running that on him. He sucks though. He's probably the worst attacker in the game now. Not really a reason to be playing him in the first place. Capitao, man. Gonna be using the LMG with him. Angle grip 1.5 flash. You could swap in between the 2 times for just personal preference. I don't really play Capitao that much, so it kind of sucks. Gone 6, and gonna be using the hard breach gadget on him. Hibana, she does have the 2 times now. So vertical 2 times flash hider, and then the bearing 9 and flashes. Jackal. For Jackal, we're gonna be rocking the C7E with 1.5. He did get a 1.5 this season, so it's pretty nice, can't lie. Angle grip flash, his shotgun, and then smokes. Ying, 1.5 flash, angle grip. Gonna be using the pistol. She didn't really have any other choice. Muzzle brake and laser. And then, like I said, it's the same situation with these gadgets. You can get the hatches with there. If there's a site we don't think it'll wall open, only hatches, and then most of the time, if you're running Ying, you want to run smokes, just so you can Ying smoke out or just smoke across and go plant, whatever. Sophia, her LMG is dog shit now. Last season, last video on our attachments, we were going to be running the LMG, but now we're using the AR. Though AR now has a 1.5 as well. Really just personal preference here. I just like the 1.5 better on it. Angle grip and flash hider. If the recoil is still too much for you, use the vertical. I'm going to be using muzzle brake and laser on her with some claymores. Dogaby's pretty good now. She has the EMP, and she has a Gone 6. She has a lot of utility now, and she can also call phones. She can get a wall open. She can get a wall open, call cell phones. She can open up hatches with her, well, soft hatches at least, with the semi-auto. And the only reason I'm not going to be using a Gone 6 on her is probably just because you're gonna have a soft breach on her team. There's really no point, but you could. But the SMG-12 is just so good. So that's why I would rock it. But red dot C vertical, and then for this we're using 1.5 muzzle brake vertical, and then obviously EMPs. Lion also has EMPs this season. I'm gonna be using EMPs on him. Gone 6, and we're gonna be using the V308. He does have a 1.5 now. I'm gonna slap that on because it's just the best scope in the game right now. Flash and vertical. Finka got nerfed. Her spear got nerfed, her LMG got nerfed. Her LMG is still usable, so between the 2 weapons, I'm still gonna use the LMG. 1.5 flash. She also has 2 times now. The 2 times pretty good. It's really just personal preference. Gone 6, she lost her nade, so we're gonna be using stuns on her to burn. If you guys wanna go for a rush plant or something that needs to get smoked off for the cross, run smokes on her. Maverick lost his nades. He's kind of butt cheeks now, I'm not gonna lie. Especially now that there's EMPs, you're not really gonna be seeing Maverick played as much. It's not that he's bad or anything. You can still make angles with him. You can still use him to get the walls, but really no point when you can just EMP it now. M4, 1.5 flash vertical, muzzle brake laser for the pistol, and then stuns. Nomad, gonna be using the ARX on her. Previously I would have said to use the AK-74, but I can't lie, man. I've tried the AK out a little bit with Ayana, and I just, the ARX just hits, man. It just hits. You get the 1.5 on her 2 times. I'm using the actually the 1.5. I like the 1.5 way better on it. Flash hider and vertical. The PRB92 with muzzle and laser. This pistol just has way too much fucking recoil. It's awful. And then flashes the burn. Gridlock, she has EMPs now too, so she's like a good alternative to Nomad. You really can't go wrong with either. Nomad has a better ability. Gridlock can get walls open, but you know, they gave some use to Gridlock now with the EMPs. We're gonna be using the F90 1.5 flash and vertical. The 2 times is also really good on this gun, and try both. LMG is also not a bad choice, but this gun is just so much better. But if you want to use this one, you'll be using the 1.5 flash and vertical. And then the super shorty. You could also run a gun 6 on her, but like you're probably just gonna be popping hatches with her. So that's why I would use a shotgun. It's also, I mean, you're not really gonna get kills with it, but it's nice to have it as a secondary. If you run out of bullets, you swing someone point blank with a shotgun. And then EMPs. Moving on the knock, probably one of the best attackers right now. She gets played a lot in Pro League, man. Not really so much a good like. I mean, she's good in lower ranks too, because you can sneak past people, but not really so good in rank because people aren't really flipping through cams and everyone's solo queuing. They're not really giving each other callouts. But if you're versing a really good team where they're like relying on Val cams, bulletproof cams, the regular cameras, all that, Knock is really good. She has a no recoil FMG, 1.5 flash. You're gonna be using the Deagle on her. The Deagle's the recoil on it is manageable if you're used to it, you know what I mean? But if it's too much for you, use the F7 muzzle brake and flash on both of them, or my fault, muzzle brake and laser sight on both of them, and then obviously nades. She's one of the only attackers with nades right now. Gonna be needing below with her, all that good stuff. But her ability is like I said, not so much a ranked operator, but in terms of like competitive play, she is really good right now. Amaru, 1.5 flash angled. SMG11, gonna be using I don't know, I have the suppressor on it. You can't really go wrong with the suppressor, actually. Nah, I mean, if you can control SMG11, fuck it, put that bitch on. But I'm gonna be using flash on her, typically. I don't really play Amaru that much without loadouts. That's why the loadout's fucked up. And then the stuns. Callie, not really much to be said. You can't really put anything on her. Between the secondaries, gonna be using her, whatever the fuck this is called. Hollow A, flash, laser sight, and then claymores. Ayana, gonna be using the ARX over the G3. I know the G3 just got 1.5 and all that good stuff, but I still like the ARX better, to the point where I'd rather use the 1 times over the 1.5. This gun just hits, man. Like like I said, I really did not like this gun at first, but once you try it, it like kills in like 2 or 3 shots. It hits like a fucking truck. Gonna be using red dot A. I don't know why it just, compared to like red dot C or hollow, this, I don't know, red dot A just like gives it no recoil. Flash hider and vertical, muzzle brake, laser sight, and then nades. She's one of the only attackers with nades, one of the 4, and her ability is also really good to run in with. She did lose her gun, but I mean, dude, she's still really fucking good without it. Ace got a 1.5 as well, 1.5 angled flash. Gonna be using muzzle and laser, and then claymores. 0, gonna be using the SC compared to the MP5, suppressor angled 1.5, gun 6, and hard breach gadget. Flores gonna be using the 1.5. This is all sorts of fucked up. Flash hider and angle grip. Then on the pistol, suppressor and laser. Like I said, it doesn't really matter on the pistol. The pistols don't have recoil either way. I just like the suppressors now, just because they just get rid of the damage, and it sounds cool. There's really no fucking point even using them, to be honest. Whatever. Gonna be using flashes on them just to burn. Osa is one of the best attackers right now. She has a really good ability. You could sit behind a shield, all that good stuff. She has a gun with like every scope imaginable, 1.5, 2 times, 2.5. You really can't go wrong with any of them. I'm going to be using suppressor and angle grip on her. It really doesn't give it that much recoil. It really doesn't. If you can't control it, use flash and vertical. But whatever attachments you use on this, you really can't go wrong. The gun is just easy to control by itself. Going to be using EMPs on her. So now, like I said, you can EMP the wall, put your shields outside whatever you open, and then you can hold it with a gun with 47 damage and an ACOG on it. She's really good right now. Kinda overpowered. I mean, she's still fairly you know, they just gave her EMP, so we have to see how good she is. But I watched Pro League and she was getting picked quite a lot on like maps where you have to sit outside the breach or get breaches open. So yeah, man. Also, is definitely a good op. Sense, dog shit. Absolutely dog shit. Hollow. I don't think I've even fucking played this op, to be honest with you. 1.5 flash vertical. Gonna be using the Gon 6 on him and hard breach gadget. Grim. Haven't bought Grim yet. I've not even played him once. He's still fairly new. I don't really think he's overpowered, but you know, give it a month, see how people learn new things with his ability, this and that. He might be good in like a month, but as of right now, he's just mid. Gonna be using the red dot A on him with vertical and flash, and then claymores. Okay, moving on to defenders. And by the way, hopefully my timestamps work. I'll try to split the video up into like the intro, attackers, defenders. Alright, moving on to smoke. Gonna be using the shotgun with hollow A, no laser sight, and the SMG-11 with vertical, hollow A, and flash. I took laser sight off of this just because every time I ever play smoke, I'm like playing close to a breach or behind a shield, and the laser sight, honestly, it just sells you. It just sells you, especially on console too. Like I'm ADSing with the shotgun half the time, so the laser sight just honestly sells the fuck out of you. You can use the FMG if you want, if someone else can make rotates and like you don't really have to play close with the shotgun. You want to play back with a no recoil gun. We're using a 1.5 in flash. You can honestly use this. It's not a bad choice if you want to play farther back in sight and hold angles with a 1.5, but this is gonna be the better loadout. Then obviously shield. The shield's just way too fucking good right now. Mute, the exact same fucking loadout. Don't really have to go through it with a nitro cell. The MP5 lost its 1.5, so it's not really as good anymore. Not that it's unusable, but you want to be honestly just using the shotgun with them. Castle, gonna be using the 1.5 vertical compensator, super shorty, and the bulletproof cam. You can't go wrong with either one of these, but I just think the bulletproof just gives you more info. But yeah, it depends what side it is. You can't go wrong with either one of these, to be honest with you. Pulse, you got a 1.5 this season. 1.5 compensator vertical. I was just memeing with that loadout. 5.7 suppressor, laser sight, or muzzle brake laser, whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? Nitro cell. Obviously, he's fucking Pulse. If you're running, I didn't even know he had barbed wire, to be honest with you. If you're not running nitro cell and Pulse, what are you doing? Doc, useless. Kind of breaks my heart because I like Doc 1 point, but 1.5 flash vertical, P9, and then barbed wire on him. Doc's dog shit, so is Rook. Don't really play these ops. 2.5 or 2.0 flash hider vertical, P9, and impacts to make rotates. If someone can make it, rotates. Then use the prox alarm. If they're running an ace or you're playing ranked, they're probably gonna run an ace. You can impact trigger with them, either one. Cap can. Who can cap can 1.5 suppressor angle grip. This is one of the guns that just doesn't have recoil, so you know why not. PMM, muzzle, laser, nitro. Tachanka gonna be using the reflex D on him. I think this is the only operator that has this. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's actually not bad. It's meant for this gun. But yeah, you could use a hollow, whatever. But I actually kind of like this scope on him. Not that I played Tachanka that much, even if at all. But whenever I do, this does the job. I didn't even know he had a bearing 9. Alright, so we're using hollow A, flash, and then bringing a shield with him. I didn't even know he had a shield. Yeah, Tachanka's just ass. He's just really ass. Unless you have like a super specific like strat or setup where he's gonna be shooting the fire bullets from across the map through a hole to stop plant. He's not that good. Jaeger's kind of his pick rate's gone down a lot because the gun is less consistent now. His gun used to be insane back in the day. They kind of not fucked the recoil, but they made it to the point where it's not as good as it used to be. It's still 100% usable, but it doesn't have the same punch like it used to. But regardless, it's still a good gun. Red dot A, flash angled, P12 with barbed wire. Still a really good op, but I feel like it depends what side it is. Like if you're holding something behind a shield, you're gonna want a Jaeger. But if it's one of those sites you're not really holding anything that requires an ADS and you just kind of need them around the site to stop nades from coming in, I feel like mine's gonna be the better choice. Yeah, either you really can't go wrong with either one. It just depends on the strat, what site, what you guys are doing, how you're holding it. Bandit's kind of gonna be good again now. Do I think he's better than Mute and Cade? We'll see. But he's definitely good again now, because you're going to have to be bandit tricking. Before, there really was no point of bandit tricking because, well, EMPs will get banned every game. But people are starting to EMP again, and they're not just mavericking the wall now. So bandit is not a bad choice if you know how to bandit trick. It's going to be like old Siege. Going to be using the hollow A on him, flash hider, muzzle brake laser for the pistol, and then nitro. Frost got a nice little buff with their gun this season. I don't know why they took off the 1.5 just to give it back, but we're slapping the 1.5 on there, slapping the vertical on it, and flash. This gun's gonna have absolutely zero recoil, so just aim for the head. Obviously her shotgun to rotates and a shield. Valkyrie, still a really good operator regardless of her camera getting nerfed. We're gonna be using the red dot C. You can't go wrong with red dot A, C, or hollow A on her. Really just personal preference. Flash vertical, and then the D50, aka the Deagle, and nitro. If you're not using a nitro and Valk, click off the video now. Valkyrie dog, or my fault, Caveira dog shit. Hollow B, I don't ever fucking play Caveira. It doesn't really matter. Flash, and then laser sight on our pistol, with impacts to make rotates. Echo, still a really good op, kind of underrated, doesn't really get played. He's kind of just useful for like really specific sites. Yeah, and Echo doesn't really get played as much. It kind of breaks my heart because I actually really like Echo. Basically has Doc's weapon with a suppressor and it does more damage. So shout out fucking Echo, and his ability's really good. I always spawn peek with it, or I'll keep one in my pocket and use it to deny plant towards the end of the round. Bearing 9. There's a 1.5 vertical. You're going to be using the Bearing 9 hollow A flash, and obviously a shield. Shields are just too good, like I said. Vector, we're going to be using the hollow A, comp, and vertical. Shotgun, we're going to be using the hollow A. No laser sight, and nitro cell. Legion is actually really... This gun is just too good now, to be honest with you. They slapped the fucking vertical on this thing, man. You slap a vertical on this with a red dot A and a flash. Come back to my video after you try this out, man. You will be getting headshots like crazy. This gun has absolutely no recoil, and obviously his ability gives you tons of info. Not really gonna be getting kills with it, but like you put it on those staircases, it's kind of like a triple arm almost. Muzzle brake laser, and then you could either impact trick with them or just use the bulletproof cam for info. Ella, she did get a buff on her SMG. I'm not sure if that was only a console buff or not, but for console at least, her Scorpion got buffed. It's still dog shit though. Red dot C, compensator, and vertical. I feel like hollow would be the better choice in this, honestly, hollow A, because it would feel like it has less recoil. I don't know, certain scopes with guns that have like, if you play the game a lot, you know what I mean. Just certain scopes will just give the gun no recoil, or makes it feel like it has less recoil. Gonna be using the muzzle brake and laser on a pistol and a shield. Vigil. Man, if they gave Vigil the 1.5 this season, he would have been nasty. But they didn't. They memed him. So, red dot C, flash hider, vertical. Going to be using SMG-12 with him with red dot C and vertical. Then impacts. Can't go wrong with hollow A on either one of these guns, too. Really just personal preference. Doesn't really matter. I could shoot straight with anything. That's why I use it. Maestro. They got rid of his ACOG. They're not giving him a 1.5. They're not giving him a 2.0. So, he's kind of fucking poop right now, to be honest with you. Red dot C, flash, vertical. Gonna be using the belief, the Aleph, however the fuck you pronounce it, to make rotates, and then barbed wire. Do not use this pistol. Just don't run impacts on him. Please just use barbed wire and use this to make rotates. He has a really good ability, don't get me wrong, but unless they give him a better scope, there's really just no point. I don't think they ever will, because his gun is overpowered as fuck, but it sucks with a 1.0 on it. So I don't know, my show's in a weird spot right now. Alibi, probably one of the best ranked ops right now, because you just swing everything and fry everybody. This gun has absolutely no recoil, man. Absolutely no recoil. Belief to make the fucking rotates. You can use the shield on her. She has a shield, man. She's really good now too. And her MX4 just got buffed on console. I'm not sure if it did on PC or not. But gonna be using flash on her. I just have suppressor because it just gives me no recoil. But if it gives you recoil, use flash. But yeah, really good op right now. She's starting to get picked. Not a lot, but definitely getting picked in Pro League. She used to never get picked, so I don't know. And people actually like shoot the alibis now. So I don't know. Be creative with alibis. Just fry shit with the gun. She's not a bad pick. Clash, kind of dog shit now, but good for certain site setups. Gonna be using the SPS MG9 with a hollow A and flash laser and barbed wire with her. Cade. We're gonna be using red dot C flash hider angled. Gonna be using the revolver on him. It's really just a battle of fucking recoil pistols here. This one you can actually shoot straight with. Good fucking luck with this one. Nitro cell. Mozzie gonna be still using the P10 Roni 1.5 flash angled. Gonna be using a pistol with them at muzzle brake and laser. Gonna be using a nitro cell. Warden. I don't know why I don't have Warden on my main account. Let's buy him. Not a bad operator for competitive play. In terms of ranked, you're never really ever gonna see him or ever play him unless you want to just play him for the gun with a 1.5. He's actually kind of good at competitive because you can like see through your own teammates' smokes with him. If you coordinate that with your smoke and you swing, for example, head holes after it just got smoked, free kill, honestly, if they're bringing a ying or, you know, they're bringing a certain strat that includes smokes or flashes. It's more of just like a target operator, target counter. Like I said, it gets played in pro league or competitive play a lot because they're studying what their teammates do. Like I said, not really going to be played a lot in ranked, especially on Xbox, unless you just simply want to use the 1.5 on MPX. 1.5 flash vertical, SMG 12, hollow A vertical, or you can't go wrong with the red dot C. Try it. I think the hollow A gives it less recoil. I know I do have red dot C on Vigil, but I'll probably swap back to a hollow A. I don't know why I have that on, to be honest. And I'm gonna be using it. You really can't go wrong with either one of these, to be honest with you. It depends what they're doing, but I feel like the nitro's just gonna be the better choice. You actually get kills with nitros, but you could also like hold elbow, or like instead of a smoke holding it, you could hold it down with warded and you can't get flashed. Really can't go wrong. Depends how you're holding this site, what your lineup is. But typically you're just going to be using the nitro cell because I'm going to assume that you're just using it for the gun and you're not in pro league. Goyo, going to be using a 1.5 on him. He just got the 1.5. 1.5 vertical comp. P229, muzzle brake laser, and then nitro cell on him. His gun is really good right now, bro. They slap 1.5 on the vector. It's insane, man. Try it out. Well, my 2 times, or my fault, not 2 times. This is not IQ. We're gonna be using red dot C with a suppressor. Like I said about IQ, the suppressor on the augment. The aug just has no recoil in general. So I mean, just try it. Come back to me, see if you like it. Last season I would have said to use the MP5, but they got rid of the 1.5 on it, so it's kind of poop now, and the aug just does more damage, and it's just a better gun. P12, gonna be using the muzzle and laser sight, and then impacts to impact trick. I mean, you could use alarms if you want, but I mean, if you have a team, they're gonna call out when people are close. You know what I mean? Kind of useless. Going back to Goyo real quick, he's also getting picked a lot more frequently now, just because of 1.5. Like I said, his gun is really good. He has a nitro cell, and obviously his ability is like the fire doesn't go away for a very long time. So kind of good on like cafe upstairs, good on basement. On Oregon, certain sites he's really good, so not a bad pick. Oryx, really only be playing Oryx just to like run around and roam and just go for kills, you know what I mean? His ability does not help out the team at all, but he's a good ranked op because you can just run around, flank, all that good stuff. 1.5 flash vertical, gonna be using this to make rotates with him. Yes, you can make rotates with your ability, but it gets rid of your health if you don't have a Thunderbird. I mean, just take time out of your day just to fucking pistol it out. Barb. But yeah, very underrated operator. You can pop the hatches with the pistol, like before the round starts or later in the round, and then either climb up or down it to go flank. So, kind of an underrated op. Has a 1.5 Elysian's gun. Really good. But Lucy, gonna be using a red dot A suppressor angled on her. It does kick up a little bit, but for whatever reason, I like it a lot. What I would recommend is flash hider and vertical, but this is just what I'm personally using. Muzzle and laser, and then gonna be using bulletproof cam on her. Like I said, you could swap in between this to impact trick the wall, but Thermite's gonna be getting played a lot, or I feel like he's gonna get played a little bit more compared to Ace now, just because you can just EMP the wall and instantly thermite it, and people know how to impact trick now too. So it just depends what they're running. Make your own judgments. I would say to use a semi-auto for a Rooney, but personally, I absolutely suck ass with semi-auto, so I'm going to be using the P10 Roni. For the P10 Roni, red dot C, flash, and vertical, you can honestly just slap an angle grip on this. This gun has no recoil to even begin with. For the semi-auto, 1.5 muzzle vertical, it's going to be what you want to use. Muzzle and laser, and then barbed wire for the gadget. Yeah, I would honestly use a semi-auto, but if you can't shoot straight with one or just suck with one like I do for whatever fucking reason, I've just always sucked with them. Yeah, definitely gonna want to be using the P10 Roni. If you can actually shoot straight with one, use the semi-auto. Thunderbird, her spear did get a little bit of a nerf, but it's still completely usable. She's still pretty fucking good. Red dot C, flash vertical. Bearing 9, we're gonna be using hollow A and flash, and then a nitrocell. Thorn, really good gun, kind of a shitty ability. Unless you're like versing on very low range, not really gonna get kill with it. It's more just like an info op, but she's not really meta at all. Red dot C, flash vertical. Gonna be using. I mean, you could slap a suppressor on this now, just because it doesn't get rid of the damage. Fuck it. And then deployable shield. Azami, still one of the best defending ops right now. She's just so fucking stupid. She can impact trick. Her ability is just stupid as fuck. She has a no recoil gun. Red dot A just gives the gun no recoil, angle grip, and flash. You could slap suppressor on this like I do with Capcan. Really, it doesn't really matter. This gun, like I said, has no recoil. Deagle, muzzle brake, and laser, and then impacts to impact trick, because half the time you're gonna be next to something that's getting aced the way you should be playing her. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are my loadouts and attachments for, well, I don't even know what the season's called. Year 7, Season 3, Brutal Swarm, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new, man, please subscribe. If you made it to the end of this video, I also appreciate you. Going for 20,000 before 2023 starts. That's my end of the year goal. I'm gonna be slamming out videos pretty soon, and also I'm building my computer within like the next week or so. So I'm gonna be switching to PC pretty soon, boys. Gonna see if I can get champ on PC, if I can get in the Challenger League, FPL. Maybe one day we get in the Pro League, bro. Doubt it, because I'd rather just do the content creation route. But you never fucking know. Also, my content. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. My content and my videos are also gonna get a lot better. Right now, I make all my content and stream off a Alienware laptop from like 2010. The CPU and GPU are completely outdated. It can't handle Adobe Premiere or like Photoshop or like any of that being open at the same time, or like the videos I want to make with like captions and like really good editing and in-depth like tips and tricks videos. That's gonna have to wait till I get my computer. But once I finally do, expect tips and tricks videos, like how to get your KD up, how to get better aim, how to push from gold to plat to diamond, or diamond to champ. I expect a whole bunch of just tips and tricks videos and like overall videos that help you out coming soon. I actually have been wanting to do those videos for a very long time, but I can't with the setup I currently have. But anyways, boys, enough of me talking. Thank you for watching. Be easy.